What's up, y'all? It's Ty in this video. Today, we're going to be going over talking about our top 10 centers right now in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. Now, I want to preface this video by saying there are a lot of other centers that didn't make this list that I like. Rudy Gobert, a really good, especially defensive center. Vlade Divac can play. Galaxy Opal D-Rob I still really like. Even like a Pink Diamond Khalil Ware can play. But this list is going to be the best of the best. It's going to be extremely top heavy. And as I do dive into our number 10, which is going to be a tied spot, so I have to plug in number 11, please smash that subscribe button. At number 10, we got a tie between Joel Embiid and Chet Holmgren. And that should showcase how good this list truly is going to be. Now, here's the dealer's situation. Honestly, I like Chet more at the 4 than the 5, but that doesn't matter because he can play that center position. Now, again, Joel Embiid, I think, is going to have a wider player build. I think is better at that center position. But I feel like Chet's release might be slightly faster than Joel Embiid's. And so, you know, it is one of those things. I think it's close. I think it's a tough tough decision between the two cards. I'm just telling you guys, if I had to choose between Joel Embiid and Chet right now, I'd probably lean towards Chet. Again, I think it's close. I think both cards do deserve to be on this top 10. That's why I put them in a tie right here. But I do think Joel Embiid is probably my slightly guy I like a little bit more. At my number 9, plugging in Dark Matter Hakeem Olajuwon, a card that I still currently do have on my squad. 7 feet tall, 7'3" wingspan. I want to start with why I like Hakeem. That's where I want to start. I really like Hakeem because I feel like at 7 feet tall, his player model is immaculate. I feel like he's got a wide player model. I feel like, you know, he gets a lot of stops for me. I feel like defense for the card is absolutely outstanding. And again, he's just a guy I can trust on the floor. I've gotten a lot better with his release as I have used him as well. Get 89 3 ball. Sure, you might want that to be a little bit higher, but it's fine. You can green with it. 90 speed is fine. And again, defensively is basically maxed. Vooch base on very quick is fantastic. The Boogie Cousins, the Marcus Cousins upper, it is weird. And so that is something I do want to say. Like, it is a weird upper on the card, but it's fine. Like, I feel like once you get the hang of it, it is just fine for Hakeem Olajuwon in this game. Don't necessarily love his fade either. I've been playing Hakeem at the 4. He has been so good for me there. So he absolutely does come in at my number 9 on this list. At my number 8, we're plugging in D-Rob, but we got to go the Dark Matter D-Rob. I wish I could plug Galaxy Opal D-Rob on this list. I just can't. Like, I can't in good conscience tell you guys he's a top 10 center. Dark Matter D-Rob is good. I just think there are better centers in the game. I do think he's better than Hakeem at that center position. I do think he is better than a guy like Joel Embiid and Chet at that center position. And the card's nearly perfect, right? A lot of people are not going to like that David Robinson upper, though. I personally don't hate it. And so, you know, for me and myself, I don't mind it. It's one with the Galaxy Opal. I've gotten used to it. And again, I don't hate it. But a lot of people can't agree with that David Robinson upper. And so I'm going to be willing to tell you guys, like, yeah, that's part of the reason he's a little lower than maybe I personally would have him. But I got to realize that a lot of people can't green with the card. And if you can't green with the card in this game, yeah, the card's probably not going to be as high as some of the other cards in this list. But again, at 7-1, D-Rob is a near perfect card on this list. At my number, he was at number 8. At my number 7, Galaxy Opal Yao Ming. Now, this is a card that is weird and tough to rank. I want to start with this. Yao's release is so easy to green with in time. With every time I play against Yao, the card never misses. He is 7'6" with a quick release, and he has, you know, really good defense. I'm not going to say perfect defense, but it is really good. Like, he's 7'6". He grabs every rebound. He is, you know, he can occasionally knock down a 3-ball. Yao is a weird card for sure, right? I'm not going to sit here and say that the card is necessarily perfect. He is a weird card. I get it if you don't like Yao, but I feel like Yao does deserve to be in here on my top 10. Now, you could have him all the way down at number 10. You could have him all the way up to like number 3. It really depends on how you are with Yao Ming. I think I went in the middle because it's like, I don't necessarily think I'd be better with Yao than a guy like David Robinson. However, Yao is really annoying to play in the right hands because, again, he is 7'6", so he grabs nearly every rebound. People can shoot freeze with him. And guess what? Yao can green the occasional 3-ball. I think Yao is kind of underrated just because Victor Wembanyama's in the game, but I still do really like Yao. At my number 6, we're plugging in Pink Diamond Victor Wembanyama. As times went on, I think we've got centers that are better than Victor Wembanyama. You could even argue, and a lot of people won't, but you could argue the Dark Matter D-Rob is better than Victor Wembanyama. I don't think he is, but I do think there is a debate to be had between the two cards. And so with me, as times went on in Wemby's, and maybe I'm just getting tired of Wemby, right? Like that, player fatigue could be a thing for me as well. But I think as times went on, I've just gotten to the point with Wemby, I'm like, the card's good. He does what he does. He's going to shoot over people. But do I think the card is like the best card in the game? No. Like Wemby is not, like he's still elite. Galaxy Opal Wemby is better. But I could argue like Dark Matter Joel Embiid is better than Wemby at this stage. At my number 5, it's crazy he's this low. 100 overall Kristaps Porzingis. And it is absolutely insane to me that Kristaps is this low. But as I was going through ranking these cards, it's like, that's where he belongs. Like I'm trying to be fair with all these cards. And if I have him any higher, it's not fair for the other cards. I don't hate Kristaps. Kristaps is extremely good. He's 7'2". His release is fine. But I'm just saying, when I'm comparing him to some of these other top cards in the game, top bigs in the game, I think there are other cards that are just side by side better than Kristaps Porzingis. Again, that's my personal opinion. You guys don't have to agree with me on that. But I've used a lot of these cards, and I'm that high on Kristaps Porzingis. I think the card is an absolute stud, an absolute beast. And if you have Kristaps Porzingis, you've got a really, really, really good card. Absolute stud on this game. Coming in at my number 4, we've got Dark Matter Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yes, I like Kareem more than KP. Let's talk about why. Okay, I feel like number 1, both these cards are nearly 100 overall cards. Both of them, right? Yes, and KP is going to have a better 3-ball, but the rest are basically the same. Even badge-wise, nearly the same. To be honest, I think the Kareem release on Very Quick is nearly as easy to green. And notice I don't say better, but nearly as easy to green as the Kristaps Porzingis 100 overall release. Now, again, that's my personal opinion. You guys don't have to agree with me on that. But that's with me using these cards. And again, I've used, Kareem a ton. I never miss with the card. It's one of those things, it's in my head that I should be hesitant with Kareem. So sometimes I don't always shoot it when maybe I should. But the card is so easy to green shots with. Kareem is an absolute beast on this game. Card I absolutely love coming into my number 4. At my number 3, 100 overall Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, here's the deal with Shaq. His player build is ridiculous. His player build's ridiculous. His animations are ridiculous. And if you can get this shot down, I will say Shaq's shot is weird. But if you can get Shaq's shot down, there's literally no flaws in Shaquille O'Neal, like at all. I think Shaq is that type of level of good on this game. And again, the Shaq I pulled, I sold. I had to sell him. There's no reason for me to keep him. But if you've got Shaquille O'Neal at this stage, you've got one of the best overall cards in the game. Shaq is that level of good. And again, if you're not, if you have Shaq and aren't liking the card, I really want to know why. Is it the release that's holding him back, or what is holding him back for you? Because again, every time I see Shaq, I'm just like, oh boy, I know it's going to be a long game, because the animation Shaquille O'Neal gets on this game are absolutely ridiculous. He is so good. He just comes in at my number 3. Coming in at my number 2 is Galaxy Opal Victor Wembanyama. People ask me all the time, Ty, is Galaxy Opal Victor Wembanyama that much better than Pink Diamond Victor Wembanyama? My answer is no, but there's enough difference here to be this far apart on this list. And people are going to disagree, and that's fine. But there's enough difference here between their badges, between their hotspots, between the fact that one's got, one's got an 85 speed, one's got a 79 speed, one's got a 93 ball, one's got an 87 3 ball, one's got a 93 ball with hotspots compared to an 87 3 ball. No, animation-wise, there's not a whole lot of difference, but badge-wise, there certainly is, right? The Galaxy Opal Wemby gets a base 34 badges. Victor Wembanyama's Pink Diamond only gets 26. Galaxy Opal Wemby badged out gets literally every badge in the game. And so I do think there's enough difference here to put the cards, this far apart. Although if you want to say they do the same things on the court, I absolutely get it. Coming in as my best center in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM right now is the Dark Matter Zach Edey. Now, it's painful for me to even put him this high because I do not think Zach Edey is worth getting. But if you got Zach Edey, you've got the best center in the game. It's really that simple, that easy to understand. I don't think the card is worth getting. I would never recommend you guys getting Zach Edey because, again, card is not easy to get. Guys, he is super expensive. But if you do get your hands on Zach Edey, He is that best center in the game. And yeah, it's not even, in my opinion, that close. It's not even particularly close that Zach Edey is that good. 88 3 ball, 86 speed, defensively, probably the best center on the game defensively. Meanwhile, offensively, he's like basically like Victor Wembanyama with probably a quicker jump shot. So, I mean, again, how do you not love Zach Edey? I don't know. Like, this card is literally your best center in the game right now. In NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. So that's going to wrap it up for our top 10 centers in MyTEAM right now. And let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. Who was I too high on? Who was I too low on? Is there any center that you would add on this list that I left out? Drop a like on it. Subscribe if you are new. And as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.